Myth wizards, also known as conjurers, are well versed in the ways of monsters. They can summon powerful minions to aid them in battle and have plenty of utility spells to take advantage of. Myth wizards are well-rounded and can thrive in both solo and group environments. What's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to the pros and cons to School of Myth. This is a mini series on my channel where we take a look at the pros and cons to each Wizard101 school to help your decision of which school to quest next easier. With all that being said, let's hop right on into the pros and cons to School of Myth. So let's begin with the pros to the School of Myth. Number one is Myth is the strongest spirit school and the third most offensive school in the game. Your accuracy is a solid 80%, which is a decent middle ground, so you will not be fizzling as much as Storm Wizard would be in the beginning. Number three is that Myth wizards get their first AoE at level 22, which is Humongo Frog, which makes questing in the beginning easier. Number four is that solo questing is not too difficult because of the minions that Myth gets. If you are in a sticky situation in a fight, you can always pull out your minion to help clutch things up at times. I just got done questing my Myth in Dragonspire, and the amount of times that my minion has been so much help, even simply just getting shields off of bosses really makes fights faster. I know that people can say that minions can use up your feints, but I honestly believe that if you're just aware of the fact that there is a minion out, don't put up a feint and just work around what your minion is doing, or just simply do not use one. I really wish that we can control what our minions did. Number five is that I believe making a Myth Dactyl pet is your best bet in the beginning, as it gives you a Blade, a Gargantuan enchant, and an Earthquake card. In the beginning, with my Myth, I simply got Blade and Humongo Frog TC, and with the Blade from the pet, it really made questing pretty easy. As soon as I was level 22 and had Humongo Frog trained, that in combination with my pet Blade and enchant, I was just cruising through the worlds. Also, there are so many Myth Dactyls in the kiosk, so you won't have to worry about finding someone to hatch with. Next, Myth is the most underplayed school, so in my opinion, when you see a max level Myth wizard, it's pretty cool. And lastly, Myth boosts on storm, balance, and ice enemies. Now, let's talk about the cons to the School of Myth. So, number one is that Myth is not a good beginner school, as it is not as easy to solo as a fire or death. I do not recommend beginning with the Myth wizard, as you may struggle more when solo questing. Number two is that your health is not the worst out of all the schools, but is definitely not the best. You won't die as much as a Storm Wizard will, but dying is not something uncommon for Myth wizards. Number three is that there is a negative stigma around Myth wizards, and sometimes when you are trying to use the team up feature, people will simply unteam up because they think that Myth is a weak school, which it is definitely not, but the stigma around it will always be there. So number four is that when you are in a group, 9 times out of 10, you will not be the main hitter. So if that is something that you enjoy doing, I would not pick the Myth school, as your damage is nowhere near a storm or a fires. Number five is that another con of the Myth school is that some spells attack twice, such as a Minotaur, and the first attack is usually very, very weak, so it takes up all of your traps, leaving none for the second round of attack, which is usually the stronger attack. Now, even though that is easily avoidable, I still just wanted to mention it as it is something that you should be aware of. And lastly, Storm Wizards boost on the Myth school. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for the pros and cons to School of Myth. If you take one thing away from this video, I really hope that it is that Myth is not a bad school at all, and I highly recommend making one if you are on the fence about it. But that is going to be it for me. Make sure you comment down below which school you want me to do the pros and cons of next. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!